and who's more into partying and everything, and who doesn't give a single about the footballing side of the game.
21st November. This date will go in the history books of every Manchester United fan. The day that club legend turned manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer finally got the sack. The news has got good and bad reactions from the press. But who better than Mohawk, Mr. 1MUFC, to tell us what the sacking really means for Manchester United FC. If you're an Indian Manchester United fan and you don't know who Mohawk is, well, consider yourself lucky because you're just about to find out. Now, Mohawk is probably the most passionate Indian Manchester United fan you can find. He started 1MUFC, which is a fan page for Manchester United, which has grown to many heights. In fact, Jesse Lingard, yes, the man himself, had followed the page. He's also part of the Manchester United Delhi Supporters Club, which has been officially recognized by Manchester United itself. So before you go any further, sit down, relax, because you're in for a banger of an episode.
Yo, what is up, guys? We're back again with another episode of the Front 3 podcast. This time we're talking about Man United once again, the source of entertainment this year, Manchester United FC. We have the news every United fan has been waiting for. Ole is gone. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is finally stacked. What are your views about it, guys? Krishna.
I'm actually, to be honest, once they've given the news, it doesn't feel as relieving as it should. Especially because we're going through such a bad run of fixtures. मतलब mind में ऐसा नहीं है कि, I mean, well, it is the best thing, but I'm still not getting that relief, especially now that we know the interim managers and so on. But yeah, I mean, so the first step is finally done. So I'm feeling quite happy.
A little mistake on my part. I forgot to introduce. We have 1MUFC. So
कोई बात नहीं है. Chill. Yeah. Let's continue the podcast. Let's get on with it.
Yeah. So what are your views about it? How do you think? Should Ole have stayed? Should he, or was it the right time? Should he have been sacked even pehle? So what's your view?
Ole should have been sacked right after that Liverpool defeat, but also Ole being scapegoated once again, just like the previous managers who were previously at Manchester United. You remember David Moyes, the poor run of form that United were in. It was all because of the players. It was all because of the backroom staff. Then again, Jose Mourinho finished second, and in the very next season, halfway through the season, he got sacked because he wasn't backed properly by the management. He cried his heart out for the centre backs, but he did not got them. Louis van Gaal, right after winning the FA Cup, after 48 hours, he got the sack. And whose mistake is it? It comes down to the management. And you can keep on changing the managers week in, week out, or, season after season. But till the time that these Glazers, these leeches are sitting at the top and are running this football club, it's Manchester United are going nowhere, to be very honest. And it's a fact. No one can change it. Not even Ronaldo.
Talking about Manchester United, I think, I'm a Liverpool fan. I would have been fine with Ole staying or him leaving because it wouldn't have affected us as much currently because United aren't at the best form. So talking more about Manchester United, as a Manchester United fan, where do you think you're really lacking? Because, you're hearing all these Manchester United ex-players, these pundits talking all sorts of rubbish. I mean, that's at least what I feel. That, every time they're asked, what's the mistake? Where is United lacking? They keep blaming it on the fact that United don't have a defensive midfielder or a right wing back for that matter. But they don't really criticize or agree with that to a certain extent because he is their ex-player. They played with him, their colleague. But where do you think they're really lacking at this current stage? Like even after Ole is gone?
Mentality, the hunger and the desire from the boardroom to win trophies. You look at Liverpool, they have a clear plan. You look at Chelsea, they have a clear structure. They are ruthless, and they have been ruthless since the very beginning of Roman Abramovich reign. And you look at Man City now, they are hungry to win more and more trophies each and every season. But then again, if you are looking at Manchester United, all they care about is the revenue that they are generating by signing the players that will help them in gaining the money, and in attracting the younger generation to follow their football club. The reason why Ronaldo was brought into the club was not because they wanted Ronaldo. It was because they knew that bringing Ronaldo will fund them more, financially, and will provide them a better, amount of sum at the end of the season. And that's what they've done. Look at the revenue that has been generated. Within minutes, the stake prices of Manchester United went up very quickly. And look at us now. We are a laughing stock at the moment.
Yeah, even stuff like shirt sales. I remember when the original number 7 Ronaldo United kit was released, it was sold out within minutes everywhere.
Yeah, so talking about them appointing an interim manager, so what are your thoughts on Carrick been given the job? And I mean, he's no better than Ole, at least till what I know. And looking at United's fixture, like obviously in the long run you see hard fixtures, but next fixture, if you look, especially they're facing Chelsea, and if they're getting defeated against Watford 4-1, so Chelsea, you just saw them beating Leicester 3-0, and that too in a deadly way. So how do you see this game panning out as a United fan? Because honestly, I don't know what to expect. I'm hoping something good for United after the Ole sack, but it's hard to expect something from this club currently.
Yeah, bro. So first, talking, you were asked about the interim manager. So, just giving people a little bit of background. So when Jose Mourinho was the manager, these people, in fact, were his background staff. They were the support staff, Phelan, McKenna, and Carrick. And when Ollie joined as the interim manager, he didn't bring his own background staff. He just came into the job and he had already had these people. So and furthermore, like I'll add the clip here, but Ollie himself has said in training he doesn't like really go in deep and really coach the players. It's always these three people. So with all like realness, what change are we really gonna see? Because I mean, it's basically the same people. It's not a change at all. The mentality wise, it's not a change. The only thing that's happened is Ollie was a puppet before. These guys are going to be the puppet now. So there's no change. It's the same thing, and it's just bad from our board. Ed Woodward really has to be. He has to be called up, and something really needs to change. I know it's a long time we've been saying it, and it sounds so repetitive, but I mean, what more can we do at this moment?
And where it's not about the manager, it's the same people that were, coaching this particular panel under Solskjaer, and now these people are still at the club. Solskjaer, only one person has been sacked, and that is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But McPherson, Karen McKenna, and Michael Carrick is still at the club, and these are the same people who were taking care of the tactical part of the game. And Solskjaer wasn't doing this job. He was just managing the players, but the tactical side of the game were being managed by Michael Carrick, Karen McKenna, and McPherson. And now, even after sacking Solskjaer, these people are still here, and they are being given the responsibility to come in front of the camera and to represent Manchester United. And this cannot happen for a club like Manchester United, for a club like Liverpool, for a club like Barcelona or Real Madrid. Everything needs to be in place when you are competing for the title, when you've got players that can help you in winning the titles. And right now, United have got the squad that can challenge for each and every trophy. But what they are lacking is the system. What they're lacking is the mentality. And as Krishna was saying, कि चीजें तब तक सही नहीं हो सकती until and unless there will not be a proper structure. And at the moment, United has not got any structure, to be very honest, because again, when you are going into the season, you need to prepare yourself. You need to prepare your backroom staff. You need to prepare your players, and especially the ones who are not playing. Especially the ones who are on the bench. Because every time you're under pressure, you would need those players to deliver for you. And right now, how many players can come up, and can change the course of the game? Donny Van de Beek did that last night, to some extent. But can he do it on a regular basis? Because no, he can't, because he's rusty. He hasn't got the minutes under his belt. Alex Telles cannot do his best whenever he's been called upon. The reason is he's not being trusted. And again, this comes down to the management. Michael Carrick was the one person who was suggesting who should play and who should not, and he will be the same person who will be representing, as a manager, as an interim manager now for United, and he will be the one selecting these players. And I won't be shocked if Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Fred, and McTominay will again start ahead of the deserving players who should be starting instead of these guys.
So talking about Harry Maguire, we all, like you spoke earlier, हमने सब देखा कि Harry Maguire instantly chucked the armband the moment he was awarded the red card against Watford. So I understand he must have been extremely frustrated, but going into the season, I mean, you can't expect this from your captain. Day in and day out, his press conferences keep getting worse. He is just not able to talk for his club. He's not able to back the players up. It's getting sad. But talking about a captain, what qualities do you want to see, and who instead of Harry Maguire, anyone else? I mean, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo is there. He's a massive shout for a captain. But someone except Ronaldo, some differential who you think would genuinely push the players and motivate the hell out of them to get some results.
If you want to keep the dressing room together, you need to give the armband to David De Gea, because he's the most senior most player in the squad at the moment, and no one will raise a question mark why he's been selected as the captain. People might question Bruno's leadership, because if Manchester United will eventually give the armband to Bruno Fernandes, which is understandable because he's the most vocal player on the pitch, even more vocal than Ronaldo at times. So he, for sure deserves the armband. But then again, if you want to keep the fan base together, if you want to, keep the media away from all the drama, then give it to David De Gea or give it to Ronaldo. Ultimately, you will be fulfilling everyone's wish that the fan base will be happy, the media will be happy, and even the dressing room will be happy that okay, Ronaldo is leading us, and he has achieved everything in his life, as a football player and as a United player. So it's not that bad, it's actually perfect, rather than having Harry Maguire as a captain who is not a leader. Because when you wear that armband, you need to lead by an example, and Harry Maguire from nowhere is leading this team by an example. You look at Ruben Diaz, you look at you should look at Sergio Ramos, what he has done at Real Madrid. Last season, the guy was not able to walk, but he played through injury, and that's why he's 8 months late while playing for PSG. And this shows what a captain must go through to represent his team. And this is the basic of football. This is the basic of any sport. You look at Mahendra Singh Dhoni, you look at Virat Kohli, you look at Rohit Sharma. These are the people who always come under fire because people expect them to deliver, and these people have been delivering for ages now. You look at Roy Keane, you look at Patrice Vieira, you look at Rio Ferdinand, you look at Vidic, John Terry, for example. As I mean, people are here from Chelsea as well, and from Liverpool. If I'm talking about, you look at Gerrard. Even when Liverpool weren't winning anything, he was the standout player for them, and he was the standout player for them for at least 12 years. This shows what a captain must do. Whenever his team is under pressure, don't worry. Lead by an example. Show at least on the pitch that you care about this club. And at the moment, he is not giving a single about Manchester United.
I completely agree, man, because a similar thing was happening at Chelsea even last season when under Lampard, Mason Mount was being captained a few games, and it showed how poorly we performed. But as soon as Tuchel came, he gave Aspilicueta the armband, who's like a Chelsea player. So when you think of Man United, Ronaldo can be said as a Man United player, a proper Man United player. Same about David De Gea, as you said. But Harry Maguire, he doesn't have that drive in him. Like, even when you watch him play, do you think he actually gives a shit about what's going on up the pitch? He's not vocal at all.
Hurts a lot, man. But I think let's move on to the club looking to appoint a manager. So I'll just read out the official statement. They said Michael Carrick will now take charge of the team for forthcoming games, while the club looks to appoint an interim manager to the end of the season. So as far as I can understand, ये season तो गया हमारा. Like, this season is gone. It's wasted. There's no use till the end of the season having an interim manager. I really don't understand. Like, what do you guys think? Is it a smart decision or not?
Not at all.
I would like you people to, give your opinion first, then I'll come to the point.
I mean, of course, you would know better, but talking about United as a rival fan, as another fan, if there is a problem, then you have to move forward by first, either removing that certain thing that's causing the problem, or simply finding a solution for it. And the problem at United was, like you mentioned, till a certain extent, Ole, but the backroom staff as well. So firstly, I think United, they should come forward and come out with a more harsh system where they're aggressive, where they want results. When you look at Liverpool, I can't speak so highly of FSC, but talking about Jurgen Klopp and the backroom staff, you can see the way he demands results, the way he's ruthless. You can see the anger, even for the United game when we were 5-0 up. He was off the bench. He was standing right next to the line and screaming at the players when
Yeah.
Henderson was slightly off his role. So I think United need to immediately change things, and changing things by appointing a strong manager, someone who the United fans will trust and who will definitely get results for them.
See, for an interim manager, I don't see United appointing a manager like very fast. And Michael Carrick might have to play two or three games because of the timing, especially the board has taken so extremely long. Like Antonio Conte wanted to join United, but he was left waiting. He kept on waiting. Usko call, he said that if they call up, I'm very interested for the job. Call ही नहीं किया उन्होंने. So that's why I don't think at the time available managers, out of which like the few that stand out, maybe Zidane and if you want to consider him, Ronald Koeman.
Yeah, I've heard shouts for him.
Yeah, because
No, I was
Ronald
also
Koeman, yeah, go ahead.
नहीं नहीं yeah, I was saying I was watching this. I think Sky Sports ने एक post किया था when this fan says that Roy Keane, and I actually really like that shout because you see that anger in Roy Keane. He would completely kill the dressing room and get everyone back to discipline. So yeah, man, I think
It's
Yeah,
different, it's different. Leading a team as a captain and leading the team as a manager is completely different. You can be a great player, but you cannot be a great manager. And Pirlo is one of those players. You've seen it last season. And Gary Neville, another example. And also Jose Mourinho wasn't a great player, but he's a very successful coach. So it's not necessary that you have to be a brilliant player to be a top coach. All you got to do is understand the game, work on your tactics. And Roy Keane was the manager, if I'm not wrong, of Wigan Athletic. He took charge, and he even took charge at some other club as well. I don't know. And he was also the assistant coach at Ireland as well. So he has a bit of experience, but he is not the guy. He can be appointed as a mentor, but he cannot be appointed as a coach. He can be added to the backroom staff to keep motivating the players, and to keep their head right, especially players like Paul Pogba, other players like every other, who is more into the social media life and who's more into partying and everything, and who doesn't give a single about the footballing side of the game. And Roy Keane's kind of personality are needed, but you cannot appoint a person like Roy Keane to be the manager of United. Never.
Yeah. That would be like replacing Ole with another Ole. Like you want, at this point they would want an established manager who they can expect things from, I think, because so far, ever since Sir Alex has left the club, I don't think I can say that even one of the managers has done well for United standards.
So, but I think for United, another like problem they face as managers is that Sir Alex has set the benchmark so high up that whenever they look at managers, it's hard for them to actually call them an excellent manager because you look at Liverpool. Before Klopp there was Brendan Rodgers and he didn't do as well, but then Klopp came and just took things to the next level. So obviously I can't expect someone coming in and just going all the way and beating Sir Alex Ferguson's level. But yeah, man, Mohak Bhai to finish. Yeah, it won't happen. But Mohak Bhai, to finish it off, this little manager thing, who do you think would be the best fit for this job?
Get Zidane in. If he's even thinking about this job, go present your project, get him. I mean, भाई पैरों में गिर जाओ उसके, ठीक है ना, पैर पकड़ लो उसके, कुछ भी करो, but get that guy on board because he's a serial winner. And if not him, then get someone from either Luis Enrique or Eric Ten Hag. ये तीन बंदे ऑप्शंस में रखो अपने. And अगर आप interim ला रहे हो, get Ralph Rangnick or get Laurent Blanc. These two are the possible candidates that should be considered, not Julian Lopetegui. For sure he shouldn't be even considered. But I would rather go for Laurent Blanc or Ralph Rangnick if there is a slight possibility that United will be going for an interim. I don't think that United will rush into things and will appoint anyone, because yesterday in one of my videos I said, don't sack Solskjaer just for the sake of sacking him. If you haven't got a backup plan, if you haven't got a proper replacement, don't do it. And now, as they have done it, and still they have got no idea with whom they are going to replace Solskjaer. It's a, it's a laughing scenario at the moment, and we have become a comedy club. Seriously.
I really like that point कि अगर backup है भी नहीं यार, then what's the point? And I know for a fact that we're honestly struggling to even find a backup. And
Absolutely.
and with all due respect, we've basically lost this whole season, and we've hampered our chances for the next maybe year and a half, 2 years, in fact, because Manlo, if we did have a manager who was ready to come, say Zidane was ready to come, he would at least have the second half of the season to get used to the players, get acquainted to the style of football in England, yes sab, wo sab. But now if he does come, now he will come next season, and then we're just so much behind already with that whole thing. So I mean, we're just slowing the whole thing down, man. I honestly don't see us winning a trophy like with this mindset of the board, with this mindset in the next 2-3 years, irrespective of what manager comes.
Yeah, something I wanted to say was Zidane. See, the thing with Zidane is, even though it would be like really nice for United to have him, but I think he's the kind of guy who prefers his mental health. I think I saw a video. Someone posted a video about the same thing, and what they were saying was because Zidane he left Real Madrid and after winning like 3 titles in a row, and sorry, 3 Champions Leagues in a row. Then he won a league title, but then he finally left because he preferred his mental health. It was too stressful, and United right now, managing United will be probably the most stressful job in world football, like European
Yeah.
football.
No doubt.
So he might, and secondly, he doesn't know English. He only how will he communicate with the players?
But
So
Bielsa doesn't know English as well. If you're considering the language barrier part here, then Bielsa doesn't know English, but he's still managing an English club, and most of his players are from England. Basically, the majority of his players are English speaking players. So I mean, coming up with an excuse, if United will come up with such an excuse that we did not hire Zidane because he don't know English. Come on, man. Be at least be realistic. Language barrier should not be a part of this game. Majority of the people who are playing and who might be playing under a different manager, what if he's not very good with English? All he got to do is to prepare a plan to put his tactics, in working.
Just to end it on a slightly lighter note, and don't take this question too seriously. Do you see Cristiano Ronaldo being a player manager soon?
No.
No.
I mean, I don't think so. No. This will not happen because, I mean, gone are those days, the late 80s or the early 70s when players tend to manage, while still playing. And, Kenny Dalglish has done it, and other players also, when they were in their playing days has done it. But it's a different ball game now, and managerial post should be given to a person who can solely focus on the tactical side of the game. Players don't have to worry about that because it's the job of the manager.
No
And
doubt.
come on, man. I mean, Ronaldo को वैसे इतना सब slate करते हैं, and if you are going to appoint him as a player manager, तो फिर क्या ही हो जाएगा क्लब का?
नहीं अच्छा करेगा वो बिल्कुल, क्योंकि even if Ronaldo retires right now this second, I wouldn't still want him to be the manager of United, because as we see, I don't want him to turn into another Ole again. Without a apt experience, he just comes to the club thinking that he's a legend, वो जीत जाएगा, but then humiliation.
Absolutely.
So I think United की और Ole की बहुत बात हो गई है. But coming up to the next game, game against Villarreal, this is going to be something that everyone's going to be really looking forward to, especially as a United fan, because after Ole gone, maybe you might expect some change, but I honestly can't say. But talking about this Villarreal game, as a United fan, Mohak, what lineup would you like to see, and who would you like to see in that current Villarreal game? Because honestly, Carrick won't change much, but what would you like to see?
Carrick will change now, because he knows that he'll be slaughtered if he doesn't make changes. So what I'm predicting is Lindelof, Harry. I mean, I have to put Harry Maguire there because he's the captain. He's a goddamn captain. So
no chance.
I don't understand. I mean, he should be dropped, but he will not be dropped. There's this particular condition here. Again, left back Alex Telles, as Luke Shaw is injured. If he's injured, and even if he's fit, I would rather pick Alex Telles over Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
And Van Bissaka he has to start because we are defensively so poor. We've conceded 11 goals in the last 4 games in the Premier League. So this tells a lot about our defense. And now coming back to the midfield, Matic alongside Donny van de Beek, it's a no-brainer. Put them, alongside each other, and just wait. Trust at least give them a chance. At least watch them how they'll operate. In 1 or 2 games. At number 10, you have to put Bruno. You cannot put Bruno on the bench. He's your main creator. And Sancho showed everyone what he's capable of. And the link-up play with Donny van de Beek was so lovely to watch last night. As soon as Donny walked in, Sancho was a different player altogether. And he delivered crosses after crosses. He made those runs into the channel. And, you cannot keep your, one of the main creator on the bench and put Greenwood. Greenwood is already out as he's suffering from COVID. So he'll be out for 15 days. So Sancho will definitely start. And if Rashford is not fit, I'll give chance to, Anthony Martial. And obviously Ronaldo will start as the number 9.
So final predictions: United versus Villarreal.
I'll go for a 2-1 win for United.
I would go for a 2-0 win, but a hard for 2-0 win, because change in the mood, change in the whole atmosphere within the dressing room, sometimes it does work in your favor.
Yeah, I agree. If there's anything that's going to change, it's going to be that mentality and mood. कि अब थोड़ा passion aggression से खेलेंगे, we have some sort of hope. So even I'm going to go with Anwar. I think 2-1 concede तो करेंगे. Come on यार, Manchester United for God's sake. So 2-1 and hopefully we see Mr. Champions League on the score sheet again. So, man,
I predict 3-2 win for United.
3-2 win.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
A bit of drama. Cool.
Who doesn't love a high scoring game?
Absolutely.
So I guess that sums it up, guys. It's been a busy last few weeks for Manchester United, and a busy more upcoming with Carrick as the coach. So any last words?
Glory, Man United. That's it. We'll keep the red flag flying high.
That's all we can
as
do.
a fan, as a fan, you must back your club, no matter how bad they are, how pathetic they've been in the last in the last 8 years, if I have to be honest, but as a hardcore Red Devil, because I've been following this club for the last 16 years. I don't know what's your age is, but
16.
So I've been supporting this club since you have been born. So I've seen the best days with this club. I've seen the worst days, but what will never change is the passion and is the love for this club. And this is the least I can do. Being an Indian, when I'm not living there in Manchester, this is the least I can do. I have to stand with my club. I have to keep supporting them. That's it.
Yeah, man. I think that's really impactful. And to end it off, I'd just like to say,
Signing off.
Yeah, so I think that's
signing off, guys.